YouTube. What's going on with y'all boys? It's a very dark time in America right now. It's looking really bad, man. It's looking really bad. And it's just everything that's happened has just showed me how degenerate the world is and how disgusting the world is. And I mean, there's always going to be bad in the world, but to see things like this happen and the events that have transpired in the past week and a half, it's just like, it's crazy. America is falling right now, man. Um, and I feel like it's only gonna get worse. But I don't believe that means that we should lose hope. I just think it means that it should be an incentive for us to come together. Now, it's Charlie Kirk's death is disgusting on many levels because not only was a man shot, killed for his opinion, for voicing his opinion, his stance. No matter how much you disagree with him, no matter how evil you think he is or not, it doesn't mean that, he should lose life over that. And it's the same thing. We've seen this happen many times now. It's no different than like a Martin Luther King, So, I mean, they're fighting for different things, but ultimately MLK was killed for, what he was preaching for, And I think it's an abomination on what this country is meant to stand for. Freedom of speech, But now it seems that if you don't appeal to a certain narrative, you don't agree with a certain lens, that your life can be at jeopardy for that, or that you can be shunned and that you can be deplatformed. The price to pay of standing out in any way and standing on what you believe in is death, being defamed, deplatformed, banished, essentially. And we saw what happened to Charlie today, man. And although I think that's what happened to him was more of an extreme thing, I think that we're going to start seeing things like this happen a lot more. And I hate to say it, but this is an incentive for us to come together. I feel like with this, they're only going to use it to divide us as people, I feel like they're going to use it to divide us as people and push us, away from each other again. It's no different than any of the other things that has happened. They're going to turn this into a left versus right thing. I've seen somehow people are bringing race into this, It's just dividing us further as a people, as if we weren't divided enough. But I believe that there will be people that see through this and that will come together, even if the majority don't. But it's a bigger issue than left and right. It's a bigger issue than black versus white. It's a bigger issue than all of that. And seeing how people have no empathy, seeing how people even mock his death, make memes, share the video and laugh, say he deserved it, or say that they don't care, or it's truly, it not only shows how desensitized we are to death as a people, but it shows how people lack empathy. People are losing their empathy. They're losing their empathy. People just believe that because they are behind a screen now, that their words have no consequences. And at this point, it's getting to a point where it isn't. People have lost the fear of really maintaining their morality and their respect, because that's no longer required. People can say whatever, and you can say what you want about him, man. He's no perfect man, but none of us are. We're all sinners, and we all have differing points and perspectives. But does that mean that you should be killed for it? Does that mean that you should not be able to see your children grow up? You shouldn't be able to spend any more time with your wife, with your family. You should be able to see the light of day anymore. Is that what it means? No, I don't believe so. I don't like where the world is headed to, you know? Cancel culture, you know, and things that just make it so that people are afraid to really share their opinion. You know, it's like if you don't fit into a certain frame, your life and your livelihood could be at jeopardy. So it's really sad, man. You know, I feel sorry for him. I didn't really know who he was before this. I think I had seen, like, I heard of him vaguely or whatever, but still, it's just sad, man. Every time I think about it, I just get sad. I didn't even know the guy. You know, people said things like he was racist or something. I don't even know, bro. Even if he was, man, I still feel sad. I still feel bad for him. It's just the way that it happened. It's the way that it happened, alongside the lack of empathy. You know, the mocking. It's like, where are we headed to as a society? You know, it just makes you real sad, man. But you know, prayers out to his family, man. You know, prayers out to his family, his wife, his kids. You know, everyone else that was close to him. You know, but let this be an incentive to come together as a people. Don't let this propaganda, don't let this motive by whoever's in charge to divide us, don't let it work. Come together as a people. You say, you know what? Yes, we have differing opinions. Yes, people will be different. But ultimately, there is something undeniable that we all have in common. It is that we are human. We all bleed the same. We all bleed the same. We have a spirit, we have a soul, we have a body. We live life, unique experiences, but we all feel the same. We feel pain, we feel fear, we feel doubt. We can love, we can hate. At the end of the day, we're all human. So we shouldn't digress into, that's the wrong word. We shouldn't regress into animals, you know? But that's all I have to say, you know? That's all I have to say. I look forward to growing this channel, growing my influence, because I want to change the world, or at least positively affect it, and leave a positive footprint. You know, if I could just change 2 lives, 3 lives, I'll be happy, because that's 2 and 3 people that could potentially change more lives. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. God bless his family. You know, keep them in your prayers. And God bless America. Hopefully, you know, everything turns out okay, man. You know. But yeah, that's all I got to say for today. Y'all have a good one. And I'm out.